Assalamu alaikum. Hello and welcome to the convocation ceremony of LedBy Foundation for 2021. It's wonderful to see so many faces over here. We have people joining us from across the globe, and the chat box itself has been so heartwarming. I'm going to take a deep breath and just center myself before we start the second annual graduation ceremony. So LedBy, what is LedBy? It's a professional incubator for Indian Muslim women. But before we talk about that, I'd love to introduce myself. I am Dr. Ruha Shadab, the founder of LedBy. I went to medical college in India, worked at Niti Aayog, and then got my master's from Harvard University, which is where I founded LedBy. LedBy is the thing I am most passionate about. The first time I penned down LedBy's mission was back in March 2019. And from giving my first pitch to this ceremony, it has been an incredibly energizing time. What is LedBy's mission? We envision an India in which every Indian Muslim woman is able to achieve her professional dreams. This in its own process and also as an end results in an increase in the voice and visibility of Indian Muslim women. The fellowship program, our feathers are from this particular program, which is what we are celebrating, were selected from a pool of over 1,200 people. And these high potential Indian Muslim women are being given avenues, access, and agency to support their professional dreams via LedBy. How do we do this? We do this through team exercises, tribe building activities, and professional development workshops. A lot of our faculty members are over here also joining us. Thank you. Today, we are gathered for the graduation ceremony. But the ceremony is actually a celebration of three sets of people. So of course you have the fellows. So these 36 fantastic Muslim women who have been with us for a very intensive but rewarding 6 months. All of you deserve a pat on your back for the hard work you've put in. In the same breath, I would also like to thank the families of the fellows, again, many of whom are on this call. My salam to you and thank you for being such stellar supporting members of your daughters and your children. The second set of people are our 100+ advisors and residents, faculty members, including our executive coaches, who took out time from their very busy schedules to coach and mentor our fellows. This pool of advisors and coaches spans over 15 countries, a host of industries. And the hours that they put in for LedBy were not just the half an hour or hour that they had with the fellows, but there was so much work in the back end that happened in terms of sharing cultural context, preparing materials, structuring the mentoring program, etc. Thank you all so much. You are a key pillar of what makes LedBy. And now we come to the third set of people. And this is what is really, really different from last year. It is the team. Where do I start? How about I start from the order that I met the LedBy team in? So the first person is Shabina. Shabina, do you want to wave at the audience?
Hi, everyone.
Shabina is our Chief Operating Officer. She is an IIM Ahmedabad graduate. She is the first person in her family to graduate from high school and then go to college. And she was the first full-time team member of LedBy. How did Shabina and I meet? One of my friends sent an email blast to maybe some 10, 15 batches of IIM Ahmedabad talking about a volunteering opportunity at an organization that is a non-profit that works exclusively, is focused on Indian Muslim women. And Shabina was very prompt to reply. I think from our first call onwards, we knew that this was going to be a relationship that was going to last way more than just a volunteership. And here she is as a C-suite team member of LedBy. Second person is Alina, the fellowships program manager, our rock star. Alina and I met via LinkedIn. I'd received over 800 applications for the role that Alina is working in right now. And Alina was a front runner from the get-go. Her discipline, her confidence just set her apart. She's been the face of the fellowship for 2021 with the fellows. And honestly, I don't think there could be a better person than her for this. Alina, do you want to wave at the audience?
Thank you so much, Shubha. Hi, everyone. So excited to be here today.
And then third, I have Dipanjali, our Chief Operating Officer. Dipanjali, yes, you can also, I'm going to give you a moment to say hi.
Hi, everyone. Nice to see so many familiar faces.
Dipanjali and I got connected through a professional acquaintance. And she was exactly what LedBy was looking for, 14 years corporate sector experience, especially since we're focused on professional development. She could bring all that knowledge. She's also worked a lot in the recruiting space. So LedBy really liked Dipanjali and was what we wanted. But was LedBy what Dipanjali was looking for? Dipanjali asked a lot of questions about the foundation in the level of interviews that we had. And the thoroughness with which she asked these questions convinced me that she was the right person for this role. Finally, coming to our newest team member, Azba, who is our social media associate. She's a fresh graduate, works out of Delhi. Azba, welcome to the team.
Hello, everyone. How you all are doing? It's good to see everyone. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Azba. And before we move on any further, we'd love to take a couple of screenshots/photographs. And Azba, could you do us the honors? Everybody, if you could turn on your camera and the fellows could keep their graduation caps on, we'll take a couple of screenshots. Keep your cameras on because you never know when you're on your screen taking screenshots. Azba, let me know when you're done with that. All right, Azba, are we done with the screenshots?
Yeah, we are done. Thank you so much.
Dipanjali, over to you.
Thanks. So while we do get started with the rest of the event, we can promise you that it is going to be fantastic. There's going to be so much knowledge that we're going to share. But before we even get into the rest of the event, I did want to make a special announcement that we have Sanjeev Bikhchandani here. And I'm so honored to be introducing Sanjeev today. Sanjeev is the founder and executive vice chairman of InfoEdge, an organization that runs popular platforms that we all know, popular platforms like Naukri.com, India's leading job sites, besides other websites like Jeevan Sathi, 99 Acres, Bridge.com, and many more. Sanjeev he's fantastic, but Sanjeev has really paved the way for entrepreneurs to create successful startups online by making Naukri the first internet company to get listed in the Indian Stock Exchange. But that's not all. Sanjeev is also the co-founder of Ashoka University, of which Alina, in fact, is an alumni of. He is also the recipient of the Padma Shri Award in last year in January, the fourth highest civilian award in India, as we all know. Sanjeev is also an alumni of IIM Ahmedabad and St. Stephen's College in New Delhi. So Sanjeev, if you're here, we'd love you to say hi to everyone.
Hi, Dipanjali. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's an honor and a privilege.
Thank you, Sanjeev. So Sanjeev was also a part of the convocation ceremony last year and has been a supporter of LedBy for a while now. Sanjeev, again, thank you so much for joining us today.
No, my privilege. Thank you for inviting me.
So Sanjeev, from choosing St. Stephen's over IIT Delhi to pursuing entrepreneurship in the 90s and then building InfoEdge, India's first internet company to be listed on the stock exchange in India. Through your journey, what have been some of your guiding principles?
You know, I'd love to say I had a plan and I had a vision and I knew what I was doing and where I was heading, but that would be and untruth. I think at every stage, I took a decision which looked like the right decision on that day at that stage. And there may have been some sort of larger ambition somewhere at the back of my head, but on a day-to-day basis, it wasn't so. So let me talk about the decision of not joining IIT and instead going to study economics in St. Stephen's. So, when I went to a school where all boys school, tough on discipline, academics was a big priority. You got caned if you didn't do your homework. This is St. Columbus in Delhi, right? And in the 70s when I went there, it was that kind of school. You weren't a real man if you didn't get into IIT. So all good boys did science. The really not so good guys did arts and humanities. And in the middle, there was one section on commerce. So I had taken science with biology, right? And all of us prepared for the IT entrance because that was a done thing. Your parents expected it. My elder brother had gone to IIT. Your friends were doing it. Your teachers expected it. So we all studied for IIT. I went for coaching classes, and as luck would have it, I qualified. Now, you see, there was when I was in class 11, there was a 3-year window when the country was switching from class 11 to class 12, right? And different states were switching at different times, right? And what the IIT folks had done is that, listen, you can join IIT after class 11, even if in your state to finish school, there's a class 12 board exam. So you don't need a class 12, you don't need a high school passing board exam to join an IIT. As long as you clear class 11, it's fine, right? And if you're in a state where class 11 is the last year in school, then you will obviously have a class 12, class 11 board exam, but it's not essential, right? So, like good, Indian boys wanting to get ahead, save a year, parents ambitious, you're ambitious, we all first tried after class 11. Yeah. And I got in after class 11, right? And when I went for the medical test, right, I was told that I was partially colorblind, right? And the doctor said, it's okay, son, you can join. Some careers might be closed and some departments might be closed, but by and large, it's okay. It's just it'll go down in your permanent medical record, right? Now, this is the first time in my life I faced, some sort of existential crisis where I said, why do I want to do engineering? Why do I, I'm just doing it because everybody's doing it. I was supposed to do it. I'm programmed to do it. I had never really thought about it. And I was really scared because I said to myself that, listen, if for some reason I have to drop out of IIT after 1 or 2 years, right, I won't even have a high school pass certificate, right? Then to start afresh, I have to write a class 12 exam again and then do something else. And I said, that's not such a good idea. And mine was the last year in which you could write it after class 11. So it was, so the next year, you could only write after class 12. The IIT was becoming a 4-year course from a 5-year course. All the good guys in my batch are already gone. My junior batch couldn't write it. And I said, the odds are pretty good that I can continue in class 12 and finish class 12. And I won't lose a year and I'll get in again. And so I took the step of saying no to IIT after class 11 and continuing in class 12. But in that 1 year, I thought a lot. And I said, why do I want to be an engineer? And I came to the conclusion that I don't really want to be an engineer. I just want to be an IITian. Okay. Now I was joining a club, I was joining a tribe, and I mean, look, when you're 16, that's how you think, right? I was reasonably clueless. I think most of us are clueless at 16, right? We are just trying to figure out things like we're drifting, right? And we are going by herd mentality. We don't have proper information. Right? Now, I wrote the IIT entrance exam again, and I got in the second time. Like I said, competition was less, but I also got into St. Stephen's College Economics. Right? And I said to myself that, listen, why do I want to spend 4 years doing something I'm not passionate about? I'm not passionate about engineering. I just want to be an IIT. When I can spend 3 years doing something I'm not passionate about, I know nothing about economics, so I can't be passionate about it. Right? I had done science and biology. And St. Stephen's College bhi club hai, wo bhi club hai, ye bhi tribe hai, wo bhi tribe hai. दोनों के brand हैं. So, I took the unusual step of saying no to IIT a second time and going to St. Stephen's. Now, it wasn't really informed long-term wise strategy. It was, some may even call it in hindsight a foolish decision. Okay, but that's how it happened. So no, I'm not this visionary who had this grand plan and said, come what may, this is what I will do. No. I had taken it, on at that time, on that day, this is what I thought.
In that process, did you come across any detractors? And even since then, whom would you consider some of
But
the
actually, you
biggest
see, I
detractors?
come from a family of engineers and doctors.
Yeah.
Right. And, so I remember my grandfather was aghast because he told my mother, my nana, he told my mother that BA karega. No, my parents didn't say anything to me. They just let me be. But I overheard this conversation. And BA in his eyes was for women. All men did science, engineering. He himself was a civil engineer, right? And did science, they did engineering, they did medicine. And that's it. BA was not for men. So it carried that stigma in my house, but I went ahead anyway.
So these detractors that were there in
there were no detractors in the open, right? There were no detractors in the open. But my parents didn't say anything to me.
And then ever since, even everything that you've achieved, the enterprises that you've set up, have you faced detractors then? And then how have you handled that?
So I think entrepreneurs need very supportive families, and I've been fortunate. My parents have never ever tried to stop me from doing something. Right? They're saying, you do what you want, chase your dreams. We are with you. And I think, in a country where there isn't any social security net, the family is social security. So entrepreneurs need very understanding families in India.
Sanjeev, you not only support startups, but you also mentor young talent. What are some of the first things you notice when a young person reaches out to you for advice or for mentorship?
So I think you meet all sorts of people, right? What has happened now is that entrepreneurship has become fashionable, right? People are doing it because everyone is doing it. People are doing it because they see others achieving wealth and glory, right? But look, it's a hard struggle. So the first thing I sort of check is, what is the motivation? Why is this young person wanting to do this? And does he know that it can be a very tough grind, he or she? Second thing I check is, what's the reality check like in other areas, not just this area, which is that the idea you're pursuing, where did you get the idea from?
Yep.
Which basically means that, look, if you got it from, if you tell me that, hey, it's worked in the US, so it'll work here, right? Or my next door neighbor is doing it, therefore I'll also do it, right? Those are the wrong answers. But if you tell me that, listen, I've spoken to enough prospective customers, I've observed them, this seems to be an unsolved problem. I have spoken to enough people about it, they like the idea, I've actually launched something and I'm getting customers and I'm getting revenue, right? I think that's a lot better. So I advise people to, just get customers. And if you get customers and get revenue, you're maybe onto something.
Yeah, and that's super useful for people who want to be entrepreneurs. But I'm guessing you also get approached by people who aren't necessarily budding entrepreneurs, but just want advice in terms of career mentorship. So what about that? And I think what I'm hearing is that doing your homework and coming prepared is something that's very important. But
it is important, but I'll tell you. See, let's say you're looking for a job, first job.
Yep.
Right. First jobs are not easy, especially if you're not from an IIT or an IIM or a big brand name college. Okay? So my advice is acquire a narrow vertical skill. A narrow vertical skill which is in demand. Right? Now that skill could be digital marketing, it could be social media content writing, it could be anything. But it has to be a very specific narrow vertical skill where you're good at something, really good at something. So acquire some talent that's relevant, a narrow focus talent, and then make sure before you acquire talent, there's a market for the talent, and go and find that customer. Your prospective employer is your customer. So what is that narrow vertical skill that you'll acquire?
Thank you, Sanjeev. And my last question to you is, Sanjeev, we recognize that there is a power asymmetry in India along multiple lines: class, gender, caste, and religious. What advice do you have for the women of LedBy, young Indian Muslim women, in terms of reaching out to people in power? How should they access these networks and opportunities?
See, I think everybody's either got a network or can get a network. Everybody knows somebody, right? That somebody may or may not be somebody in power, but you know somebody. Now, if you can do something that delivers some results, sooner or later you'll be noticed, right? And if you get noticed, then somebody or the other will approach you and say, hey, why didn't you do this? Why didn't I fund you? Why don't I do this? Why don't I give you this opportunity? The key is to persist.
Yep.
You got to keep on persisting. I mean, look, it's not as if, on the face of it, I was privileged. Yes, I had an education. But my father was a government servant. There were no savings. There was nothing to inherit. So I started this company with 2,000 rupees in a servant quarter above a garage. I was privileged. There was a servant quarter above a garage that I could occupy. My father was a doctor, and therefore he had a telephone line. In those days, there were 8 years waiting this telephone. I pulled one line from his clinic and put it up in the servant quarter. This clinic was in the garage below, right? So that's privilege, right? But it's not as if I had it easy in the early days financially. It's not as if, but I had an education. So I used to teach on weekends at business schools to make 2,500 rupees a month to somehow make both ends meet, right? So I had found a way to get by. We all find a way to get by to survive. Yep. And then in those years while you're surviving, you're building something. Right? Did doors open for me? Yes, they did. I had an IIM qualification. So when I put that in a PowerPoint, who's the team, and I put IIM, people would say, okay, fine, I'll give you a meeting. Yep. But we all have some strength, somewhere we've done some achievement, or we will do some achievement. Yep. And with that achievement, maybe next step. So it's step by step.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev, for joining us and sharing your wisdom. It's been a delight having you with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me. And all the best to all the graduating fellows. And I'm sure there's some alumni here from last year's cohort. All the best to them as well.
Thank you so much, Sanjeev.
Thank you so much.
See you next year.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
So that was Sanjeev Bikhchandani, mostly pressing on the importance of persisting and following through. Both of them are really important and also aspects that we've tried to inculcate through our workshop sessions. Next, I'd love to give the floor to our rockstar program manager, Alina, to share her reflections on what the journey of the last 6 to 8 months has been like.
Thank you so much, Rubha. Hi, everyone. It gives me a lot of pleasure to celebrate this day with all of you. I think that it's a very special day and it's a memorable one that I will cherish for a long time in my life. It's actually been a pleasure to lead the fellowship program for this brilliant cohort. And I remember when I joined LedBy back in February, round 2 applications were going on, right? And I got to see some fantastic pitch presentations from applicants, and we had around 1,200 applicants, and I was mind blown. I was seeing some wonderful startup ideas on social impact in different industries, and that was amazing. The way, the thought process, the presentations was so good that it was honestly a very difficult call. And I knew in my first month that I was getting into something very challenging, but I would also enjoy that. And today, I think that I feel very fulfilled in that sense, that I have been challenged throughout. From that to the interviews, we got to meet 80 wonderful women. Again, I think the competition only grew and it became even more difficult for us to select them. So first of all, congratulations to the fellows who actually made it to the fellowship in the first place, because as all of you know, it was such a difficult call for us because all 80 were brilliant, right? So pat on your back for doing that. And that's when the most exciting part actually started. So we started with the fellowship. Of course, there was a lot of background work happening in terms of programming, getting our advisors, executive coaches, facilitators on board, and planning the sessions for you. And that again has been so thought-provoking. But the fellows are actually the ones who made this experience what it was for me. They are a wonderful bunch of dedicated, ambitious women who are so inspiring. You have pushed me to think harder, to challenge my notions, to think out of the box, and most importantly, to actually have an empathetic approach towards life. And I'm very grateful for being a part of this cohort. I think I've taken this fellowship journey with all of you, and that's been amazing. One of my biggest takeaways and something that I'm actually very proud of about for the fellows is how you dealt with gray areas. And life is not black and white. There are going to be a lot of gray areas where you will have to think, make difficult decisions. And I think how all of you dealt with those, how deeply you engaged with those, questioned them, challenged them, thought about them, has been absolutely wonderful. Lastly, I'd actually like to conclude by saying that I am sure that all of you are leaders who are going to leave their mark wherever they go. There's absolutely no doubt. And I can't wait to hear your success stories. I know the fellowship is ending, but it's going to be a lifelong friendship. So thank you. And with this, now I'd actually like to give the floor to our cohort, to the people whose graduation we are celebrating today. Let's hear from them how their journeys have been like. So with this, I'll start with the first set of reflections. For everyone's reference who's joined us today, thank you. As you know, it is a cohort of 36 wonderful women, right? And the fellowship was an intensive leadership program that went on for 6 months that had different components. We had workshops, we had leadership training in the form of meeting role models, and then of course, we had executive coaching. They also played the role of mentors. So they did up mentor young women, and the cohort was so diverse, so there was a lot of peer mentoring. With this context, you can realize that there was a lot of work that went into it, and all of them were either working or they were in college. So kudos to all of you for managing this and graduating for the fellowship. With this, I'd like to invite our first fellow to share her reflections. Over to you, Alia.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Alina. I'm so glad that I'm part of this wonderful cohort and this wonderful fellowship. And I can't even believe that, you know, we have graduated and all that. I would like to thank the entire team and also to my parents. You know, they have been very patient throughout my, you know, weekend sessions and all that. And also, of course, to my friends. You know, they are just wonderful. And I know that you know, every time when I get a floor to speak, I get kind of anxious and all that, but today I don't feel any of that because I know that I belong here. This is my space. I can speak and all that. So I'm so happy, and I feel I hope we all meet someday, and whatever I have learned through this fellowship, I know I'm not going to use it like tomorrow, but of course there's other, you know, wonderful lessons and things that I'm going to use forever in my life. Thank you so much.
Good evening, all. I am Alia Nazar, the other Alia in the from the cohort. Thank you all for joining us with our convocation ceremony. I'm super excited and delighted in completing this fellowship. Applying for the fellowship was under a momentary impulse, but LedBy gave me great friendship, experiences, and learnings which I would cherish for my lifetime. LedBy gave a network of 35 amazing Indian Muslim women who are doing inspiring works in their respective field. And LedBy provided me with a great network of mentors and advisors, which I can approach through my lifetime for my professional and personal queries. And through group activities like Pitch Your Dream and Dream Trust, LedBy, you know, actually pushed me to find my actual dream and the problems I am facing in my professional and personal life, and through group activities with cohort members, I was able to find solution to those problems. And last but not least, LedBy provided us with a safe space. We are all, Indian Muslim women. We have been fighting patriarchy and so many other things throughout our life. And LedBy actually provided us a safe space where we can openly, state our opinions and our ideas. And I would like to thank the entire team for providing us with support and patience. Thank you, Ruha, Alina, Deebanjali, Shabina, Asba, Rakshanda, for giving me this immense opportunity, which I would cherish for over my lifetime. And this is the official end of our fellowship, but I think this will be a new beginning for all of us, where we can apply our experiences, learnings, and support from the LedBy Fellowship in building our dreams. Thank you all for joining us today. And thank you, Ruha, for building this foundation, the LedBy Foundation. I hope it will grow more bigger and bigger next year by touching lives of so many Indian Muslim women for crafting their dreams and achievements. Thank you all.
Hello, everyone. Hi, I hope you all are doing well. So glad to see everyone here. To start with, congratulations to all my co-fellows. I'm so happy to be here with all of you. It's been a dream, sort of. It's really surreal to think that we have now completed the fellowship. It's already been done and we are all standing here together virtually. So maybe somebody would have told me that a year back that a platform like this was possible, I would have really thought that it's just a dream. All my life, be in my school or my college, I've been among those few Muslim students or the only Muslim student. So here sharing this platform with other 35 co-fellows was just such a wonderful space to have a try. I really want to thank LedBy and Ruha for coming up with such a space, for creating an opportunity for all of us to grow and do so much more. Each of the workshops that we have attended, I think there was so much to take from them, not just from the perspective of knowledge, but also from the perspective of how we grow ourselves personally and professionally. I'm absolutely thrilled to be here, and I wish all the fellows and everyone who has been here to support us all the very best in their journey. And thank you so much.
Hi, everybody. I hope all of you are doing well. And in terms of the LedBy journey, I think I feel very blessed and lucky that I came upon like that. Somebody had shared that post, I remember, of like the next cohort. And I just randomly thought of applying. And it was one of those things that panned out so well for me, because I don't think I realized how much I needed it at this particular point in life. Especially with the pandemic, everything, I feel like it was a breath of fresh air in terms of the things we learned, the kind of people we met, the kind of people I got the chance to speak to, all the advisors, the executive coaches. I feel like it's this one ball of like opportunities waiting for you to explore. So LedBy turned out really, really well for me. And this is something I've been saying, I think, since the beginning, that it's very tough to run a professional fellowship with young women and also keep it very, very personal and very safe. And I think small things that the team does in terms of the pulse check-ins or the check-ins that we get normally from our buddies or from these fellows, I feel like it makes all the difference. And more than the professional things, I feel like a personal takeaway is bigger for me from the fellowship. So yeah, and I feel very, very grateful being here. I'm very happy that I was a part of it. And I hope to see all of you in person very, very soon. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Amtul. Yeah, so this still feels very surreal. As a part of the final pulse check, if I can say, I was just on my way from a competition, a university level debate competition, and I won a first place. So that will be the last pulse check, I think, for this fellowship. And apart from that, the fellowship has been a really splendid experience. I didn't even realize what I was getting into when I was applying for it. The entire process, the entire selection process, it really put me in a structured, put my thinking into a more structured fashion. And I really love the fact that the entire LedBy team has been so supportive throughout the fellowship. I have met such amazing women who are so independent and they are so brave with their own ideas, and there's always something new to look out for from each of them, and I really appreciated getting to know them throughout the course of this fellowship. And I'm seriously very grateful that I got this opportunity to be in this prestigious cohort of 36 so amazingly talented women, and each day was a new challenge, and it brought its own new learnings as well. So thank you, LedBy, thank you, Ruha, for making this amazing foundation and giving us this great platform with amazing advisors, executive coaches, and there's so many good people. And that's it, I guess. Though the journey is coming to an end, I have such an amazing network now, and it feels really good to have this amazing professional network. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well. I'm still wondering what to do on Saturdays after the LedBy fellowship, because Saturday was the day we had all our fellowship. We had our fellowship, and it was the day I was looking most forward to. For me, LedBy, since the day of application till today, it has been truly an enriching and learning experience for me, be it from the amazing sessions, the dream trust, the executive coaching, mentoring. And I was a person who was quite introverted and shy to even switch on the camera. But see, like today I'm standing here, at least with the confidence that I can speak well in front of a big audience. And truly that LedBy has supported me in that. So thank you so much, team, and my amazing cohort. And I want to say to all my fellows, we did it, mates. And I would love to take this learnings to my future endeavors and create something new and try to solve the existing challenges around us. And inshallah, together work and collaborate with amazing human beings. Thank you so much.
Hello, everyone. I'm really glad that all of you took time out of your busy schedule to be with us for today. It's an important day for us, and I'm also very, very happy for myself. LedBy, I'm very, very proud that I got a chance to be associated with such a platform and a foundation where I could interact and have some of the greatest conversations with so many people. I'm very proud to be a part of a team and a network who are like one of the most ambitious and brightest bunch of people that I have met in my life till now. Thank you to the team, thank you to the co-fellows, and to everyone who has supported us throughout our journey. And special thanks to all the advisors and the executive coaches. I learned so much about myself and what I want to do in my life through all of those sessions. And I'm really happy that I'll be taking all those learnings with me for my future professional and personal paths. I started the LedBy with the quote of take some space and then make space for others. I would like to end this with some additions of my own, like take some space, make some space for others, and also start creating spaces if you can. So that's all from me. Thank you very much again.
So, Assalamu alaikum everyone, this is Ilma Rafiq. LedBy stands out for me because nowhere else I found that any fellow is groomed as an important individual as here. I would like to thank the owner, the founder, Ruha Shadab, the team, the fellows, the mentors, and my parents for everything. As this journey has been a very great one. And at times our own light goes out and is rekindled by a spark from another person. I believe that LedBy Fellowship is that person for me. So with deep gratitude for lighting the flame within us, I would say that these have been remarkable 6 months. I'm taking away a lot of wonderful memories, a very good network of fellows and friends, and a lot of good lessons and an opportunity of lifetime. And as I express my gratitude, I will never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter words, but to live by them. Thank you.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for taking out time to be here with us and share this space. This auspicious, a special occasion where we all are happy to be graduating after a 6-month-long training. I would like to say that this has been a process of learning, unlearning, and also relearning. I would say that it's not just getting mentored by the LedBy advisors and coaches. I think it was even more rewarding to mentor young girls who were knowing least about the world and the professional development, and we were kind of helping them with whatever little we know. That was even more rewarding to give, and that is how I understood that this very fellowship is so beautiful, that these people who are working for us, how rewarding they must be feeling when they provide us with a training like this. I think time flew, and I'm going to miss every single thing of the fellowship. I don't know, it just feels like the last month, it was this last month we all met and it all started. I hope we get connected sooner and in person and forever. I love and appreciate the efforts of everybody, the fellows, everybody, the team. They're so supportive and appreciating. They would just give you a constructive feedback, and they would just help you and be with you, not just for your personal problems or even for your professional problems and concerns that you have. So I think I'm going to miss this, and I'm going to take a lot of learnings from here and give them forward to people that I can. Thank you, LedBy. Thank you, everyone, for joining me here.
Hi, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the team, LedBy team, for selecting me. I still remember the day when I was interviewed, the final interview, and Alina took it. And I'm glad that I made it and I became a part of this whole cohort of amazing people, because LedBy came in my life when I needed it the most. So I'm really grateful for the for having LedBy in my life, because I got a lot of things to learn from. I got a lot of things to know about me. I figured out a lot of things that I haven't been aware of. So thank you so much for that experience. Apart from that, I'm someone who loves social interaction, and during pandemic, it was all shut down. So LedBy was something that I used to look forward to every Saturday. So I'm going to miss it a lot, because it's been a journey for me, a hell lot, one journey that made me really confident, restored my confidence in me. So thank you so much to all my peers and my buddy. And I would also like to thank the team for bringing this feature of advisors, connecting us with the advisors and the executive coaches and the mentees that we have been connected with. They are going to these connections, these networks are going. I'm going to take it forward in my life, and things that I've learned from this fellowship, the professional and the personal things, they were very important for me to learn at this stage, because from now on I'll be leading a professional career as well. So thank you so much, team, and all the peers. I'm really grateful for making me a part of this team. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arish. So like Arish was saying, we couldn't have done what we did without the support of our advisors. Mentorship is a vital part of our program. Experienced women, more than 10 years of experience, who are industry experts, provide guidance to our fellows one-on-one. They are our role models, and we are grateful for their support to LedBy. Today, we have two of our advisors with us who would like to share their experiences of their interactions with the fellows for the past few months. I would like to start with Dr. Farah Usmani. Dr. Farah Usmani is a senior advisor in organizational development and alignment. She has about 25 years of experience in policy and programming leadership, focusing on women and girls at global, regional, and national levels. She has worked with the public sector, bilateral donors, and has been with the United Nations for more than 18 years. Farah Usmani, over to you.
Yeah, hello, good morning, and salam alaikum to everyone. It's really greetings from New York City, and it's indeed my privilege to join you today. My heart is always in India. And I remember 2 years back when Ruha had shared with me the concept and the framework for the LedBy Fellowship, the draft to, and so today I'm really happy to see it operationalized and to also hear your feedback on it. So really congratulations to all the LedBy fellows. And it's really actually very inspiring for me to hear your profiles and your journeys. And it makes me confident about the next generation of Muslim women leadership and in the community. So bravo to you all. Let me just share one reflection. As we know, there is a stereotype about Muslim women in India and also actually globally. And so it's important to proactively build a narrative, step by step, a Muslim women's narrative, which encapsulates the diversity of Muslim women who are not a monolith. And I urge you, so my point today is, I urge you to continue to share the stories from your neighborhoods, from your towns. And I really liked actually today hearing your story, Shavina. And, you know, so there are these stories and these small nuggets provide and open a door which we don't even know to women and girls on moving in another direction. So I wish you again all the best, and it's really, really a privilege to know and meet you all virtually. All the best.
Thank you so much, Dr. Farah. Up next, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker for the graduation ceremony, Barkha Dutt. Barkha Dutt is a pioneer of Indian television journalism and founder editor of digital platform Mojo Story. Barkha is an anchor reporter with over 20 years of experience, winners of dozens of awards, and I am wasting everybody's time right now by introducing her. So I'm going to give the floor to Barkha Dutt to share her thoughts and message to the young Indian Muslim women graduating from the LedBy Fellowship. Thank you, Barkha, for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me, and I'm very honored that you would choose me as a keynote speaker for your convocation. I think nothing gives me as much satisfaction as being able to encourage, in whatever little way one can, other women to set forth into the world. But even as I do this today, I must tell you that it is not going to be easy. I remember once interviewing Hillary Clinton when she was on a trip to India, and she said to me that basically being a woman who's good at what she does, and I'm sure that all of you will be that, also means growing a skin as thick as the hide of a rhinoceros. And I looked up that quote, and it turned out that she was quoting Eleanor Roosevelt. But the larger point, although of course across cultures and countries, there are different intersectionalities when we talk about women. There's socioeconomic privilege, there's caste, there's class, there's religion. But there is a universal truth, and that universal truth is this, that the world is threatened by an independent, opinionated, strong-minded, successful woman. Let me share a most recent example of my own life with all of you, what happened to me just in the last few days. I wrote a piece for the Washington Post saying that the Indian cricket team, and we'd all seen that thrilling match between India and Pakistan, and it was a bummer that India lost. But the Indian cricket team, I don't know how many of you noticed if you watched that match, took the knee before the match. And while, in the Western world, taking the knee is now a universally accepted symbol of standing up against racism and supporting the Black Lives Matter movement, it seemed a bit peculiar to those of us living in India why a cricket team that doesn't take a position on anything else of contemporary importance had chosen to do this sort of token gesture when they had remained silent on all contemporary issues in their own country. But that would have also passed off without comment were it not for what happened with Mohammad Shami, who, as it turned out, was the only Muslim player on this in this particular tournament, in this particular playing 11. It's now being suggested that the toxic kind of assault on him was started or initiated by the Pakistani deep state, but there were enough Indian trolls who also joined in. I was among those who wrote a column saying that the Indian cricket team taking the knee was a meaningless, empty gesture if it wasn't going to speak out in support of their own comrade. And therefore, it wasn't just a hollow gesture, it was also a hypocritical gesture. I was trolled so viciously for the next 3 days that I was a top India trend, nothing I'm not used to, by just people espousing hate and accusing me of being an anti-national because I had spoken up for inclusiveness. Today, of course, I stand vindicated because the Indian cricket captain Virat Kohli has issued a really strong statement in support of Mohammad Shami that has warmed my heart. But I shared this story with you because it is not the first time that I have been almost virtually lynched for being myself, just for being myself, for saying what I think, for saying it how I see it. And I've always done that. And I've always done that, even if sometimes it means offending those who see me as closer to their ideology. So let me explain what I mean. I think that the toughest thing that we find, is to be individuals. I always tell any sort of group of women I address that for too many years, there has been a romanticism around women being sacrificing. We have complimented our fraternity for being multitaskers, for giving up our own happiness for the sake of others, for being selfless. I find all of this self-inflicted chains of gold. It sounds lovely, but it's actually just a form of self-punishment. And it's quite controversial, but I always encourage women to emphasize the I rather than the we, because I think not enough women in our part of the world do that at all. And so if I had any word of advice to all of you, and who am I to give you advice, but if I could give you advice basis how I have lived, I have always been ferociously, stubbornly myself. I have first been an I before I'm part of any we. I have been unapologetic about the pursuit of my happiness and my ambition. And I have been stubbornly thick-skinned about any mob attempt to tailor me to their own dimensions. I'm often trolled by those on the right wing, but I must say that sometimes I am also trolled by people on the left because I don't exactly fit any box. I'm just myself. And I think all I'd like to say here today is that the toughest thing in life, really the toughest thing, you'll all find great careers and hopefully a lot of personal happiness, hopefully safe, inclusive spaces that respect you. But the toughest thing for a woman in particular is to be yourself. In particular, I'm fully cognizant that I am speaking to a group of Indian Muslim women. And you will probably find, and I may be making some assumptions here, but they're not theoretical assumptions. They're based on my journalistic life and observation and issues that I've reported on. You will probably face pressures from all sides. You will face pressures from those who are Islamophobic, who have a certain assumption about you, but you will also face pressure from your own community, who, like all communities, have a certain idea of what women ought to be like. And you will find, like I have in different contexts, in different ways, that you don't fit anyone else's assumption about you. And that is absolutely perfectly all right, as long as you're prepared for certain moments of loneliness that will come with it. But I'm here to tell you that if you do not experience those certain moments of loneliness, if you do not experience a certain aloneness in the pursuit of your own happiness, it probably means that you're chasing somebody else's dream and not your own. So the only thing I can urge all of you extremely accomplished women to do is to ask yourself before you sleep every night, what is it that keeps you awake? I can share my own example with you. There are two gigantic, larger than life journalistic events that have defined my life. One was the Kargil War that I reported from the front line in 1999, when probably most of you were not even born. And I remember pleading with the army, and what a long way we've come since then, because we now see the National Defense Academy opening its doors for women. We now know that 1 in every 3rd applicant for the NDA is a woman. But in 1999, when I wanted to report the war from the front line, I was told that we could not send women to the front because there were no bathrooms and no rooms to sleep for women, and we could not, they said, quote unquote, give you special treatment in the middle of a war. And I said, how have you made that assumption that I want special treatment? I just want to be treated like everybody else. I'll use, the space under a tree or behind a rock to take a leak, just like the guys. And I don't care where I sleep and what I eat. And I got my way and I reported that war from the front line. I was just a little over 26, barely 27, somewhere there in 1999. But I knew that I wanted to report that war because it's what kept me awake at night. I was like, I can't be a journalist of any standing if I'm going to report a war that's happening in the Himalayas sitting in Delhi. Cut to 2 decades later, and I had that same hunger from inside when COVID actually erupted and took over our lives in India. And when India was shut down in the March of 2020, I realized, just like had happened in Kargil, that I couldn't sleep at night and I had to be out there reporting this story. And so in a team of 4 people getting into a Maruti Ertiga, one of the 4 people was our driver, the other was a camera person and a young producer. We drove all across India during the world's biggest lockdown. We clocked 30,000 kilometers. We reported from inside ICUs, slum tenements, backs of trucks, inside trains when they finally started working. Something similar for me happened during the second wave. Even when I became the story I was reporting, my father died from COVID. I got COVID the day we cremated him. But the only way I knew how to deal with my grief was that as soon as those 14 days had passed, I was back out there reporting, because that's the only thing that gave me strength and gave me purpose. I share this story with you to say to all of you that as women, we have to ask ourselves what keeps us awake at night. What is that desperate thing? In my case, it was reporting the Kargil war, it was reporting COVID. In your case, it might be something similar or something completely dissimilar. But women don't spend enough time asking themselves, what will give me happiness? What keeps me awake at night? Hand on my heart, am I living the life I want to live? Or am I living a life that is some version of some man, our partners, our fathers, our boyfriends, and it doesn't have to be a man. It could also be some version that our children want us to live or our mothers want us to live. But I'm actually here to say to you what you'd never hear at a convocation because the word is so derided. I'm here to ask you to be selfish. I'm here to ask you to put yourself ahead of anybody else, because you are going to be of no source of happiness to anybody else unless you're happy yourself. I'm here to ask you to be only your best imagined version of yourself, not anybody else's idea of you. And I'm here to tell you that though it hurts, you will feel lonely, you will get knocked around, you will scrape your knees, you will have deep gashes at some time, but you will, at the end of that day and at the end of that life, look back and you would have lived the life that you wanted to live. I was doing a leadership event with a major corporate firm, and I took a straw poll and I asked these women who were probably mid-career professionals, how many of you are living with regret that you haven't lived the life you wanted to live? And 96% of the women there said they were not living the lives they had wanted to live, that they had put aside their dream for a variety of reasons. I have seen as a journalist some of my brightest women colleagues drop out of work because parental or marital pressure gets to them. Female labor force participation in India, despite the very, very glamorous headlines of how many glass ceilings women are breaking, and we are, is actually going down. Put simply, fewer women are working today, fewer women are economically self-reliant today than they were earlier. While on economic self-reliance, as an old or older woman, I'm here to bring you some home truths. There is no relationship in your life that you can evaluate on merit if you are economically dependent on that person. None. If you are seeking a relationship that you can understand, that is on your own terms, please let economics not be what defines it. Let dependency never be what defines it. And I just think that for all the knocks you're going to get in your life, the sense of being yourself in a world that will often feel hostile, unfriendly, alienating, where your religion will be used to stereotype you along with your gender. It becomes even more imperative than before that you listen to your voice, not the voice of your community, your parents, your family, your children, your boyfriends, your girlfriends. No, your voice. Who are you? The only advice I can offer in the most humble way from my own lived experience is ask yourself, who are you? Maybe it will be a work in progress. Maybe you'll keep changing your mind about who you are, and then just go out and chase that dream without apology. You do not owe anybody an explanation but yourself. When you internalize it, you answer only to yourself, and you bust the romantic myth of women being all sacrificing, always here to give to others. You will live your best life. I wish all of you the very best of luck, and thank you for having me. God bless.
Thank you so much, Barkha, for being you, for your voice and for your strength. You are an inspiration to all of us.
Thank you.
Thank you once again for taking your time, joining us, and congratulating our fellows.
Thank you. Look after yourselves. All the best to all of you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 So next we have Samira Khan, who is an advisor at LedBy. Samira Khan is a Mumbai-based independent journalist. She has been an advisor in residence with LedBy from the very beginning. And she is a researcher. She is the co-author of the critically acclaimed book, Why Loiter? Women and Risk on Mumbai Streets. The book examines women's access to public space and how often, and I'll let her talk about it, but coming back to Samira, she's a journalist for almost 3 decades and a former assistant editor with the Times of India. Till recently, she also taught master's level journalism course at the School for Media and Culture at TES Mumbai. Samira, over to you.
Hi, thanks, Sabina, for the introduction. What a tough act it is to follow that wonderful keynote address, which I endorse thoroughly what Barkha has said. These are truths you learn over decades of living and working and sort of being senior. So I would endorse the words she said. Thanks to LedBy, I have been very fortunate and lucky to mentor such a fabulous, passionate group of fellows, both as a group through the workshop, I helped conduct for you, and also mentoring some of you personally as well. It's been a great experience, and it's been wonderful to meet young Muslim women who are passionate, earnest, thoughtful, such go-getters, and committed to their dreams, and very thinking through their dreams. I found people very thoughtful about the way they wanted to accomplish their dreams as well. At a time when Indian Muslims have been so vilified in this country, I have to say this is such a hopeful note. And to all those who believe that Muslim women need saving, this is a trope both in India and in the West, I would say here are Muslim women who can well save themselves. What they need is an equal access to opportunities, really. I'm proud of you, and I'm also proud of LedBy for building this sort of safe, community of where you can have open discussions, frank open talks, and LedBy can help you expand your world and sort of give you maybe relevant skills which you need to expand. And I hope as a peer group, you all stay in touch with each other and also with LedBy, because I think having a community, what Barkha talked about, looking out for yourself and really you being your, spokesperson for yourself. And that's true. That's very true. As you go through life, you realize no one else speaks for you, including your parents. Your dreams are yours and they're yours to accomplish. And you cannot then blame people. So you want equal opportunities, but I also believe that along with standing up for your dreams, you also need to build a community. A community really helps. A mentoring community which supports you with your dreams. So I think LedBy has taken a wonderful initiative in that regard. And I think graduation should just be the first step out in the main world. Keep in touch with each other, keep in touch with LedBy, with other advisors and mentors, and go out and do things which make you happy and which can also contribute to the larger world community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Samira, for being an advisor in residence and a supporter of LedBy from really the beginning. I'd like to call Dipanjali to reflect on her journey as a LedBy team member. Dipanjali is our Chief Operating Officer. She comes with over 14 years of corporate work experience. Dipanjali, looking forward to hearing from you.
Thank you, Ruha. And I did want to take this moment to thank Barkha and to thank Samira. And Samira, you said it's a tough act to follow, but it's such a tough act to follow after Barkha and Samira. But let me take this moment to just share a little bit about my journey here. When I joined LedBy, and like Ruha said, I've got a lot of experience. I've got 14 years of experience. And when I joined LedBy, I imagined that with my background and experience in business strategy and recruitment, I'd be giving a lot more than I take away. And I did want to do that. That was my intention. But when I was approached by the fellows and when we started off the fellowship, I realized the kind of level of self that each one of these fellows had. This was more of a learning experience for me, and I took back a lot more than I gave to the fellows. Like I've said, this has been such a learning journey for me. The biggest thing that I learned is that an Indian Muslim woman is not a homogeneous group. The Indian Muslim woman doesn't mean the same for each and every one of us, and I learned that. And thank you for teaching that to me, to each of our fellows who are graduating. I learned that to give space, you also need to make space and create spaces, and you need to be empathetic. You need to create a sense of trust and comfort. And I know that you did that for each one of us, to the fellows. Forgive me. It's been a long ride with each of the fellows. So I'm having a moment, but I knew that while we were as a foundation changing the narrative, what we were actually doing is we were trying to make your lives better, and we were trying to make a difference to each one of you. So what I've learned is that we need to make sure that we are tirelessly working and we are making a difference to your world so that you can then make that difference to each one of everyone else's world. We are here for you. We are going to be your cheerleaders. This is not goodbye. This is only the next step in your fantastic journey. So congratulations to each one of the fellows. I am so proud of each one of you. I love all of you. I do want to end by saying that when I joined LedBy, I knew one Muslim colleague and one Muslim friend. But today I am so proud that I know 36 fantastic women who are my friends, my peers, my colleagues, and my mentors and teachers. I have their families to thank, I have their friends to thank, and I have this Muslim cohort who I am going to cherish forever. So thank you to each one of you and all the very, very best.
Thank you, Dipanjali. And I completely resonate with what Dipanjali just said, that we've actually gotten a tribe of people ourselves, and we couldn't be happier about that, given that we have such wonderful, fantastic women in the cohort. So let's again hear from these fantastic women who have completed the fellowship. And now I'd like to invite Lubna to share her journey with us.
Hi everyone, I hope I'm audible, and I'd like to thank everyone for being present here in our graduation ceremony. I still feel like I was attending the interview with Dipanjali yesterday, and today the whole fellowship, the 6 months long fellowship, is just getting over. The results were delayed by, I think, a couple of hours, and I remember panicking, and my younger sister, who was just 10 years old back then, told me like, you'll get it and you've put in so much effort. And all my family members were very supportive of me, and especially she was the one who was more supportive. My 10-year-old sister, she's present here, and she is a huge fan, and she's been inspired by Ruha and all of the team members and all of my fellows. She used to sit with me to attend these sessions, and I never in my wildest dreams thought that I would be a mentor to two girls and someone from the STEM background. So I'd like to thank LedBy for giving me this opportunity to learn, to grow, and to accept my different identities and my different and to help. Thank you.
Hi everyone, really happy that you could join us today. So something that this fellowship has taught me is that I'm more accepting to the idea of taking up space, especially in intersections and especially as a Kashmiri Muslim woman. So it's also been a process of personal growth because I have throughout been very introverted. And while I don't think that LedBy has changed that, and I'm not sure if I wanted to, I do realize how much value there is in conversations and questions, in asking for ideas. Special mention to Alina, because she's been there for me, not just in professional, but in also personal capacities. Finally, I think it would be a sin to go without mentioning Sophie, my executive coach. She's here. Thank you. So can't summarize how she's helped me in 1 minute, but there you go. Thank you, Sophie. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you for your reflections, Momil. My experience of the LedBy Fellowship has been it's been a mixed journey. It has made me cognizant of our shared experiences and identities as Muslim women, but it has also made me realize how differently we experience them in our own contexts. As a Kashmiri woman, I've unlearned and relearned throughout the course of this fellowship, and it has been a testing ground for my idea of intersectionality. All of our knowledge, even self-awareness to a degree, is gained through others. So I'm very happy to have shared this space with such brilliant women. Additionally, it has also reiterated for me the necessity of doing the due diligence. I've seen Alina, Rakshanda working tirelessly. So congratulations to the team. I've also found my little group within this larger space, people who share memes with me and I rant with. So you know who you are. Thank you for infusing fun and laughter into this. Congratulations, everybody.
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining. I'm kind of sad that the fellowship is ending, but at the same time, extremely grateful for all the knowledge, meaningful connections and advice I'm taking from it. We all started with like this shared and predominant identities as Indian Muslim women, but I realized soon after how diverse we are, as in terms of personalities, ideologies, and experiences. I've had the chance to reflect on my opinions here, found people resonating with some of them, but also a few who helped me see completely new perspectives that I was unaware of. Also tremendously learned from the lived experiences of my peers, the team, facilitators, advisors, coaches, and of course my mentees. I hope I didn't miss anyone. So thank you, LedBy, for these beautiful 6 months. Thank you much.
Hi, this will be a moment of gratitude. My first thank you is to my aunt who introduced LedBy to me. It seemed fated because LedBy came to me at just the right time. I needed direction, support, and resources to navigate life post-graduation, and the fellowship gave me just that and actually so much more. I received unconditional support, invaluable mentorship, and work opportunities. We shared stories, learnings, and reflections. And so I would like to thank the team at LedBy for creating a strong program and a safe space in which we could all strive. Most days I would find inspiration to push myself and learn new things by simply being in the presence of brilliance and ambition. And through various sessions, dream pitches, and peer calls, I've had the pleasure of getting to know 35 dynamic Muslim women who will undoubtedly make significant impact in their professional paths. And so my biggest thank you is to my co-fellows who made the fellowship experience such a memorable one. Thank you all again. Congratulations.
Thank you, Nabila. And thank you to all the fellows for sharing their reflections. Unfortunately, Jasmine couldn't join us today because she's down with fever. She's unwell, but she has shared her reflections and I'll read it out for you. In the beginning, when LedBy used to mention a tribe of like-minded girls as an advantage, I wouldn't get the idea. Why would a random set of fellows become important? They are just other girls. I finally get it now. And that's why LedBy selected us. A few years from now, we'll all be super successful women with great empires and impact. And that's what will be valuable because looking back, those successful women have one thing in common, the LedBy Fellowship. I'm so glad to hear this, that Jasmine feels this. Now, I'd request Shabina to share her reflections, and it's also very special because Shabina has graduated last year and the second cohort, like Ruha mentioned. So,
Thank you, Alina. Hello, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Very excited to be here and congratulations to all the fellows graduating today. It's been such a wonderful journey with all of you, and it's been very enriching for me. I have learned loads from each and every single fellow. Every session was filled with enthusiasm, curiosity, thought-provoking discussion. So I'm so grateful that I have been a part of your entire process, right from the applications to the graduation. Having said that, each and every one of you have motivated me to do better, to be a better person. Also, like, filled the entire team with enthusiasm and energy to carry on with the work we do. And these 2 years with LedBy has been one of the most fulfilling experience that I had in my life. And all of you, all the fellows of 2021 are a big part of it. Thank you so much. Each one of you is a role model, and I believe with all my heart that you will reach great heights and succeed in your life. And we are just waiting to see that happen in front of our eyes. So that's from my side. Now, let's move on to the next segment, which is family. We at LedBy believe that that support of a family is so crucial to the success of every individual. We are all thankful to the families of cohort members for extending their support and encouraging all of these wonderful women to take on the world. We will now hear from some of the family members, starting with Kabir, who is the younger brother of Adiba Ahmed.
Hello everyone. Am I audible? Yeah. Hello everyone, my name is Kabir. My elder sister Adiba is the 2021 LedBy Fellow. I remember when she got to know about the fellowship program, she was so excited about each of the rounds. We even discussed her like startup idea pitch on a train journey. It's amazing how she dedicatedly puts her 100% when she decides to do something. Like she's always been someone who wanted to learn and grow continuously. So this LedBy fellowship is another big milestone in her journey. So Appi, I wanted to know that everyone here is really proud of you, and we wish greater things for you in the future. And congratulations, everyone.
Next, we have Shahid sir, who is the father of Reda. Shahid sir, you can unmute yourself.
Hello. Hello. अस्सलाम वालेकुम। मैंने 25-26 साल स्टेट गवर्नमेंट में काम किया और फॉर्चुनेटली मैं एजुकेशन सेक्टर में ही काम करता हूँ। प्राइमरी और अपर प्राइमरी सेक्शन को मैं देखता हूँ और मैंने यूनिसेफ और वर्ल्ड बैंक के साथ काम किया और औरतों के साथ भी हम लोगों ने औरतों के लिए भी काम किया, लेकिन शेड्यूल कास्ट शेड्यूल ट्राइब के औरतों के लिए हम लोगों ने काम किया। लेकिन मैं डॉक्टर रूहा और उनकी पूरी टीम को तहे दिल से शुक्रिया अदा करना चाहता हूं कि इस तरह का जो मुस्लिम वुमेन के लिए ये प्रोग्राम है आप लोगों का, वो वाकई काबिल तारीफ़ है। और मैंने देखा अपनी बच्ची के अंदर, रदा फातिमा के अंदर बदलाव होते हुए और उनका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल बढ़ते हुए। तो वंस अगेन मैं रूहा और उनकी इंटायर टीम को मुबारकबाद देना चाहता हूं और एक शेर के साथ अपना ये ख़त्म करना चाहता हूं कि मैं अकेला ही चल रहा था जानिबे मंजिल, मगर लोग साथ आते गए और कारवां बनता गया। तो डॉक्टर रूहा, आपने एक बड़ा कारवां बना दिया है। अल्लाह आपको इसका अजर अज़ीम अता फरमाए। थैंक यू।
वो मेरे अब्बा का भी फेवरेट शेर है। थैंक यू।
So next we have Mohammed sir, who is Lubna's father.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. I'm Lubna's father. Can everybody see me, hear me?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the thing is, I saw the enthusiasm of Lubna as the course progressed, and she was very enthusiastic all along, and I appreciate the founder. And this is the need of the hour, because the situation the Muslim community is facing in our country is a bit of a problem, and finding a space in between to help the Muslim women find their identity is, I think, a very, very good cause. Just want to thank the entire team for helping my daughter achieve this success. Thank you.
So next we have Obaid, who is our LedBy fellow Seerat's partner, and she's been married very recently. Congratulations once again, Seerat. But we all know the importance of partners in our life, and Obaid would like to share a message with all of us. Unfortunately, we do not have the network connection, so he has sent a recorded audio. Ruha will play it for us.
So when Shabina says that they got married recently, we mean like a few days ago, and they're actually at their honeymoon in the Andamans, but still went through the effort of sharing these messages. So this is a message from Seerat's husband, Ubaid.
I'm Ubaid, and Seerat is my better half. I was the first person who she came up to say, I want to join LedBy. It was a huge step for her just to come up and say, okay, I'm going to apply for this fellowship. And then, as destiny had it, she qualified her each round successfully and made it to LedBy cohort. In last 6 months, I have seen her grow, take challenges, take part in discussions, and even speak up on the issues which were hardly related to her. I have seen her work hard on her assignments and the deliverables and multitask as well. She has transformed into a sensible, mature, and confident lady who now sees each and every situation from others' point of view as well. Thank you, LedBy, and all the people who are involved in this amazing venture.
That was from Ubaid. Moving on and actually coming back to our team, I'd like to give the space to our youngest team member, who's a few weeks old with LedBy, Azba, to share on what this journey has been like so far.
Okay, so thank you so much, Ruha, and congratulations to everyone. Although I'm not able to spend much time with you all, but to be honest, believe me, you all are literally very important to me. Like I have learned each and everything from you. Like Zoha's smile, from Anna's dressing sense, from Alia's cute smile, and from Muda's name. Like I got to know different names like Muda, Varda, and apart from it, I'm just a month old, and you all like accepted me as a family. So that was something I'm really glad. Like it doesn't feel like that. Oh, I'm the newest member here. So yeah, and congratulations to all of you. And believe me, in any part of life, like if you want any help or any assistance, just ping me. So yeah, thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Asba. And with this, we will now go back to the fellows and celebrate the day with them and hear what they have to say. And with this, I'd like to invite Nadia to share her journey experience with us.
Thank you for introducing me, Alina. Please excuse if I take more than a minute. I have a little story to share. My grandmother pushed me and motivated me to apply for LedBy. While the second round of application, I lost my grandmother around the date of the deadline, and I almost gave up on the idea, actually on the practice of applying. And that is where my another strong woman comes in, and that's my mother. And then my mother motivated me and asked me to do this and apply for my grandmother. And I applied for LedBy. I got through the interview. Here I am after 6 months of the fellowship. And this is for the true strong women in my life, which also reminds me of how Kashmiri women, even after, despite being doubly marginalized, or we can say marginalized in more than one way, are epitomes of resilience and strength. LedBy gave me the opportunity to share the space with some of the strongest Kashmiri women I've known. And not just Kashmiri, some of the strongest and most brave Indian women as well. So thank you, and I'm grateful for having shared this space with such amazing, talented Kashmiri and Indian women. And I would say that one thing that I learned from the team would be the diligence that was mentioned even earlier by the fellows. I've seen Alina, I've seen Rakshanda, I've seen all of the team, Shabina, Dipanjali, all of them work tirelessly. And that is something that I take away from this fellowship. I take away this network of people that have supported me. There's a little tribe of my own amongst this bigger tribe. You guys are hearing me right now. I see you and I send you love. Thank you so much.
Hi, folks. It's always amazing listening to Nadia. Well, let me start by sharing an inside joke. I am overwhelmed. Now, my cohort and the team definitely knows how easily I get overwhelmed. Well, I'll move past that, okay? So I remember I applied for the fellowship on the very last day, and Dipanjali was there during my interview. I would actually take this moment to apologize. I'm so sorry, Dipanjali. I asked all sorts of questions related to the fellowship, and you were patient enough, kind enough to answer all of them and walk me through it. And that was the moment I realized, okay, I can be here. This is a place where I can ask questions and I can get answers. I'll miss coming here on every Saturday, having discussions with these amazing women, discussions which are intricate and deep-rooted. I am walking away from the fellowship with the realization that A, I need to join a theater. B, that I have this amazing set of 35 Muslim women I can always come back to, and I will also miss staying back on calls after every session with Alina, only to ask her questions, which she's already talked about in the session. Alina, I'll miss that. And to all my co-fellows, I would just want you to know that I'll always be there, always one call away, be it 2 in the morning or in the night, just one call away. I'll keep following you people on social media and cheering you for your support, and I'll always be there. Thank you so much, everyone.
Nosheen, are you here? All right. She seems to be having network issues. Novera, why don't you go next?
Good evening, everyone. So for once in my life, I think I'm in the middle of saying something in a big crowd, and my heart isn't pulsing at hyperspeed. I'm actually a bit emotional right now. LedBy has wonderfully accomplished its vision through leadership education, leadership initiatives, and reflections. Each session that took place on the weekends for us was the highlight of my day for 6 whole months. LedBy is a great environment to thrive in, with people expressing their own personal experiences and opinions with each other. Through its networking opportunities, I have met academics who have similar ambitions as mine, and I have been inspired by our team and cohort members throughout the journey, filling me with confidence and motivation. It has been a very empowering and exciting platform that gave us a journey full of introspection and learning. Finally, thanks to the team. We have an amazing team, especially Alina. Thank you so much for your efforts. And thank you, Ruha. This is a great initiative, and I love it. I'll miss this.
Thank you, Novera, for your insights. My name is Kwanata, and I'm also a graduating fellow. So my reflections and the sort of impact that LedBy has had in my life is threefold. I would like to call them the 3 C's. So where LedBy provided me with an ecosystem that was and where I was always motivated. I was always told that, the sky is your limit. So that's definitely something that has been super helpful. And that leads me to my third C of courage, where I know that I have all the armor that I need to voice my opinions, to fight for what I believe is right. And I think that's extremely important when you come and you belong to a minority. That said, today I'm leaving with 2 factors. One is hope, where I hope that I would get to continue this sort of connection with every single fellow, where I would continue to have a community that has my back at all times. And I would like to leave also with a promise that I would give back to the community and give back to the LedBy Foundation, everything that they've given me. I hope I can empower at least one more Indian Muslim woman so that she feels the 3 C's that I talked about today. So, thank you.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Panita. I am that one Indian Muslim woman that you have inspired. I love you so much. I'll begin by saying that when I was about to apply for the fellowship, I thought that I've always had this big imposter syndrome. So I thought that I am not going to be selected, so I won't apply. One of LedBy's Alam, Hansa, is my friend, and she literally had to force me to submit my essays. And I'm so thankful to her today. And I'm thankful to my parents for always being very, very supportive, and for giving me my space every Saturday and Sunday for the fellowship. What I'm getting from LedBy is role models. A lot of them from my fellows. I see role models in my fellows. I see role models in the LedBy team, and I see role models in the advisors in residence. You gave me a space to be myself, and I'm so thankful for that. I've always believed that as Muslim women, we're fighting wars at two ends, one from outside the community in terms of Islamophobia, and one from like inside the community in terms of misogyny. And I'm so glad that I have so many women with me today that are going to support me in this war, so that we all together can live through this and shine through this. So I'm so proud of all of you guys. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Firstly, I just want to congratulate all the co-fellows here and thank you everyone for being here. I mean, I've been saying this, I said this in the last session that we had, was that I don't feel like this is the end, and I still don't feel that way. And I think it's because there's been so much experiential learning in the fellowship that apart from the professional aspect of it, of course, that I think I'm going to take with myself. And I think what I really cherish is that I've been able to get a glimpse of and even like detailed takeaways of people's experiences in the fellowship. And that's just something that you cannot really forget. And, that's something that doesn't feel like the end in itself. Apart from that, of course, a lot of people have mentioned that this has been a very diverse space, given that it's very easy to see that the homogeneity of Indian Muslim women. And I think what has been very special is that we've been really cognizant of this diversity, and I think that's really allowed me to take up space. And there's so much you are really pushed to take up space, and that's something that really goes with you for a long time. And just, I mean, lastly, what's been really amazing, but also very surreal, because it's so rare, is to be validated, to be reassured, to be challenged by very patient but also very assertive, independent women, whether it is the team here, whether it's a mentor, it's the advisors, the co-fellows, or even my own mentee. I think it's been in that sense, it's been something. It's not the end in that sense, and that's how I'd like to end it. Thank you so much.
Hi everyone, so this is Satya. First of all, congratulations everyone for getting graduated. And my journey with LedBy has been amazing, very tiring, but amazing, because we have learned a lot from each and everyone. I learned from the team, from the core members, from our advisors, obviously from our facilitators, and from our fellows. So it has been an amazing journey in terms of like I did, like when I applied for it, I and along with my best friend we applied for LedBy, and she didn't get it. So I was like, okay, I'm also gonna drop off because you were not doing it. So because we applied together. But she motivated me, she supported me, like, please go ahead, it is going to be a great journey for you and you're going to learn a lot. And I'm glad that she did that, she supported me. And today I'm here and I'm very glad. Thank you so much, LedBy, for giving me this opportunity. I'm always going to love you and miss you guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sadia. And because we always give space to others, we also have Rukhsar, who is one of our graduating fellows. Unfortunately, Rukhsar couldn't be here, but she was kind enough to send her reflections, and I'm going to do justice to that reflection. So here goes. The entire journey of LedBy is something that will stay with me forever. LedBy provided me with a community of like-minded fellows who were so supportive throughout the fellowship, and a team that made sure that we are taking the best out of this. From being guided by the top-notch coaches, speakers, advisors, to having a safe space, I never knew I needed this kind of support until LedBy. Special thanks to the whole team for making this a memorable and a learning experience for all of us. Rukhsar, I wish you were here, but thank you so much for this. With that, what I'd love to do now is to segue into another beautiful piece. We do have a fantastic singer who has joined us today. I'd like to open up the stage for Kashish Shamsi. She is here with us. So Kashish, I know I'm not going to do justice to you, so over to you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kashish Shamsi. I go by my artist name, Amsi. I'm a singer-songwriter in New York City, And I'm so honored to be with you guys. You guys have said so many amazing and inspirational things about LedBy and how you guys have been able to create your own community. And this song that I'm about to sing is also about creating your own community and being proud of the community that you create. It's called Jeete Raho. I wrote it at a time when I didn't feel like I had a place that I belonged. As you can maybe tell, I'm American, but I also am Indian. So the dichotomy of being an immigrant in the United States has always been something that I've always had to face and get my head around. So Jeete Raho was just a reminder to myself that it's okay to celebrate both sides of me. It's okay to celebrate any side of me. And I am so happy that I get to celebrate you guys with this song today. So here is Jeete Raho. I hope you guys enjoy it. Naam hai mera kashish, I got roots in Hindustan. When I'm feeling blessed, I say Alhamdulillah. You like this attitude? Yeah, I get it from my mom. We ain't afraid to rep where the hell we come from. I got sass, I got passion, and I ain't afraid to flaunt it. And just cause I'm a woman doesn't mean that I don't own it. Don't tell me tone it down cause I'm a boss on a mission. Best believe I'm not asking for no permission. Yeah, yeah. And to the people we say Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho my baby, Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho my darling, Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho, live that long life, live that long life. Hey, 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 hey. Immigrated to the States, but I don't forget the culture. Red, white, blue, orange, and green. Yeah, look at all my colors. You can judge me all you want, but I'm just with a million like me, we all coexisting. And to the people we say, my baby, Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho, my darling, Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho, live that long life, live that long life. Hey, 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 hey. Living that long life, staying up all night, we hustling every day, trying to get all that paper. Living that long life, staying up all night, we hustling every day. Man, I'm starting to fade away, yeah. I'm starting to fade away, yeah. And then I hear him say, Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho, my baby, Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho, my darling, Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho, live that long life, live that long life. You live that long life, Jeete Raho, Jeete Raho, my baby. Oh, my darling, live that long life, live that long life. Hey, 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 live that long life. As you guys know, Jeete Raho, live long, prosper. This is just the beginning for all of you. Thank you so much for allowing me to sing to you guys today. I'm so honored. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kashish. And you not just struck a chord, but many chords. As you can see from the chat box, you have lots of fans in us here. It was amazing, absolutely wonderful, and the message was so good, so inspiring. Thank you for actually making the ceremony so musical and beautiful. The graduation wouldn't have been complete without this. So thank you for taking up the time and joining us from the US today. It means a lot to us. All right, and with this, we have now reached the last segment of our graduation ceremony, where we will hear from the rest of the fellows. And to kickstart the last set, I'd like to invite Sania to share her reflections.
Hi, everyone. Many congratulations to all the fellows here. Kudos to the team for pulling this off for the second year in a row. I hope you have many years of this. Thank you for everyone present here for all the encouragement. LedBy, like Anna described it, I think earlier, has been a breath of fresh air. Talking to people outside the field of law, but coming from a similar social background, exposed me to so many ideas. Every session, the discussion would motivate me to look out for better opportunities for growth. It helped me better understand myself and my journey of self-actualization. It's also been a course in intersectionality over the last few years, like what Kamal just mentioned. I could never have imagined such a wholesome group of people just making me learn the realities of life, the privilege I enjoy. It helped me challenge notions and stereotypes. And, it's just been a journey of sharing our own inspiring journeys in our professional careers. It's been an amazing ride with everybody, every single person here. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I would like to take it up from here. It's been a wonderful journey. I am so glad to have reached at this point of time where I could look upon the past 6 months. This whole journey started with a LinkedIn post, and I'm so thankful for this platform. Thank you, Ruha. Thank you, Alina, Divanjali, Azba. I'm so sorry, Rakshanda couldn't be here, but everybody, you have been so wonderful at this point of our lives. It's been such an empowering journey with our pulse checks, our dream trust exercises, our leadership classes for that matter, everything, and our advisors and residents who have been pivotal in giving us so many, wonderful insights. It's been a journey of introspection for me, and it's been a pivotal year for me as well. So this has been wonderful. The 35 people I got to talk to and share their lives with, and I'm so grateful for this opportunity, and I'm pretty sure that we'll all be paying it forward and making sure that this community holds true for us always. Thank you.
First off, congratulations to all my fellows. I can't stop from thinking about the day when I was applying for this fellowship back in December, and I was literally hoping LedBy to give me some sort of professional experience. But what was even better is that 6 months later, I feel like this fellowship was something that I never knew I needed. In simpler words, I needed LedBy rather than wanting it. There was just so much to grasp from each and every fellow, from the executive coaches, from the AIRs, and most importantly, the team who themselves have been great teachers. I've also had my little group in this fellowship, the ones whom I can text at 2 in the morning, and also the ones whom I don't talk to on an everyday basis, but I know that we're there for each other. No amount of appreciation or thank you is enough for each one of you. And if I really have to put my entire experience in just like 3 words, I would simply say immense unconditional support. So I really hope LedBy achieves great heights and keeps doing the good work it does for the Indian Muslim women. Thank you, everyone.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. The fellowship has been incredible. I've had some very meaningful discussions in our workshop sessions, some very insightful takeaways, which I will be carrying forward for life. The personal as well as professional growth has been so evident throughout the course of the fellowship. And I'm so grateful for this tribe of very powerful women I've encountered, the LedBy team, my peers, the advisors, the executive coaches, and we've created a space full of love and warmth and with such incredible visions for the community. And LedBy has given us the support to take on the world, and I will always be grateful for it. Thank you.
Hi everyone.
First of all, congratulations to all the fellows for graduating. It's been a wonderful journey through which I have gained some great connections, and I've had a lot of valuable conversations and interactions with fellows, the team, and the advisors. Your guidance has brought me where I am today, and I'm most grateful to have Aarti, who was my executive coach in my LedBy journey. Thank you for the way you have helped me grow and shape my professional life and my personal life, and you have been the highlight of my LedBy journey, so thank you for being there for me. I'm also looking forward to see you all grow into beautiful, strong people, and I'm also looking forward to see LedBy grow and become a better version of themselves. And thank you for providing me for the space, being a Kashmiri Muslim woman, and I hope to see LedBy become more vocal about our struggle and conversations about my identity as a Kashmiri woman. Thank you for all that you have given me. This is what I will be taking with me, inshallah, for the rest of my life. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I am Yamuna Rizvi. Congratulations, everyone. Congratulations, all the fellows. We finally done it. I know how rigorous these 6 months have been for all of us. I remember all our peer calls, and you know who I'm talking to. It was crazy. We were just, last month was like just making sure that we are giving all the deliverables on time. It was just crazy, but so much fun in that sense. It's been a nice journey. We've done so many things, so many workshops, peer mentoring calls, executive coaching, so many things, but it's been an experience. I just hope that we all, whatever we've learned here, it just help us to achieve our dreams. And once we achieve those dreams, we come back and give back to our community, and not just our community. In fact, all the women around. I just hope we become that community which is there supporting all other communities and becoming that leader in itself. So, and thank you to the team, especially Alina, Dipanjali, all of you. You've been so good. You've been so great to all of us. So thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. So when my LedBy journey began, I started with this diary. I wrote a note to myself, and today when I'm reading it, I'm like, okay, I'm closing this chapter now. The entire journey of LedBy has been very wonderful to me. Like the previous 6 months has made me go through a wholesome process of developing and discovering so many new facets of my own identity. The workshops are very reflective in the sense that when I am at a situation where there is something which is not right, or like there was the first session with Samira Khan is very reflective in my identity when it comes to public spaces. So all the workshops has so many things to take from. And yeah, and the most beautiful part about this fellowship has been the team. This is the set of the most incredible women I've ever met. Like my co-fellows are the best. I love you all, and yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you all in person someday and cherishing this bond that we have created. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Today from LedBy, I am graduating not just as a fellow, but as a person realizing the importance and virtues of standing up for myself, presenting myself and my community, and questioning what is right and wrong. I'm taking with me the social responsibilities of being an Indian Muslim woman with the aspirations of leading them one day. But more importantly, I am taking away a family, my tribe, a tribe of 35 amazing women who dream big and motivate others to dream bigger. A tribe whom I grew with in the past 6 months, and with whom both tears and laughs were shared. Because we learned how beautifully different yet same we were. A tribe I can proudly call my home. Thank you to the entire team for this opportunity. And thank you for making us realize that we deserve nothing less than the best. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone. And definitely, I think you have said that very well. So you guys deserve nothing but the best. All right. We have reflections from two more fellows who are not here currently because of work commitments or network issues, but we do have their notes because, of course, we wanted to hear from them and they did not want to miss out on this opportunity of sharing their thoughts with everyone and specifically their cohort. So I'd request Ruha to please play Amreen's voice note.
I take back two things from the fellowship: conversations and discipline. I take back the conversations I've had with the fellows and advisors whose ambition and passion for their life and their career has renewed my own motivation towards my life and career. I also take back discipline from the team. The face of LedBy is often its founder, but I think the real people who LedBy should be synonymous with is Alina, Dipanjali, Shabina, Rakshanda, and Azba. Their work ethic, professionalism, and dedication towards their job is something I will carry with me always. Thank you, all of you, for inspiring me, and thank you for having me.
It would have been so nice to have Amreen here today with us, but nonetheless, glad that we got to hear from her. And to close the reflections from the fellows, we will now play Sirat's voice note as she couldn't join us. She was here for a bit, but she's really struggling with the network. So Ruha, can I please request you to play Sirat's?
Good evening, everyone. I'm really sorry that I couldn't be there, but I would love to share my reflections about this journey. I came to know about LedBy through a post by Sahreen and was fascinated by the sheer number of mentors, coaches, and in-house peer groups of diverse backgrounds that LedBy was offering. Battling my self-doubt and that nagging voice back at your mind, which keeps you pulling down, I signed up for the fellowship. Throughout the fellowship, one thing that has stood out most for me is how much I've surprised myself and shown growth and composure to hand in my deliverables and juggling life changes. That is that I recently got married at the same time. I will cherish the cohort of strong women it has added to my life, and taking strength from the lessons I learned from this amazing journey, I move forward. And thank you so much.
That was the reflections from our fantastic batch of 2021. We also have a number of our alumni from 2020 joining us. Alicia would like to take the floor to address the current graduating batch of 2021. Alicia, over to you.
Hello, everyone. Heartiest congratulations to all the new fellows who are graduating. I feel quite honored and experienced because I was lucky enough to be the part of the first cohort. So let me tell you like one thing. This is literally the beginning of your relationship with the LedBy cohort, because LedBy is like an umbrella and they're going to embrace you throughout your journey. And before I would share anything else, I would really give a shout out to the entire team, to Ruha, Alina, Dipanjali, for being so accessible. Like sometimes, like there are a lot of fellowships and scholarships that exist, and there are, of course, different mentorship programs, but you always have this one thing of, being a little, I, might have to be careful about this or that. But Ruha, Shabina, Alina, Dipanshi, they're so accessible. It's like they're like my constant cheerleaders who I, literally I just text them, oh, like this is happening. Can you please help me out? And they're always there. And like with LedBy, I met this really amazing group of advisors who are really watching for me out. Like Dr. Farah Usmani is here. Like I'm really lucky to, have come across her and talked with her. And like I think now we interact more than I was interacting with her during my fellowship. And like she's again a constant cheerleader for me. So like you can always count on the women and the tribe that you have built here with LedBy, and these will be the people who will be, always there for you. That's my guarantee and that's my experience. So thank you guys. Thank you for everything and all the best. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alicia. And with that, we come to a close. Like our fellows, LedBy is also on a journey. We're working towards a more equitable, inclusive future, which has an ecosystem that empowers women. The growth that LedBy has seen in the past 2 years is a direct result of your support and engagement and a stellar team that you've had the opportunity to see today. I'm so happy we were all able to celebrate together. We were able to celebrate the fellows, the families, the advisors, and each other. And to the fellows, I want to iterate something that Alicia also just mentioned, that LedBy will be your space for professional growth and personal support. It is the place for Indian Muslim women, however you identify with those 3 words. I wish you all the very best. Congratulations and kudos to you.